how's it going? My name is Matt. I have a satellite image of the Minecraft city so far, the city of Sequoia. This is East Village, and when I say a satellite image, let me show you. What I actually mean is it's a Minecraft screenshot. So what I've done is I've set a home up at 10,000 feet, and if we fly all the way up here, we can see that the view is exactly the same. Pretty cool. You see all the mountains over there. I'm using a distant horizon, so they do look a lot smaller than they actually are. But down there you have East Village, which is quite cool. And basically how I'm planning the city out is I go up here, I take a screenshot, and then I import it into Figma, where I am planning everything out here. This is some old work that I started late last year, and a list of buildings in Vancouver that I'm potentially interested in making. I also have an iPad. So if you see drawing on here, that is me on my iPad because I have decided that I am now an iPad kid. Now, one thing that I would like to plan is how do I connect East Village all the way to the North Shore? There's a couple different ways we can do this because down here we have these two avenues. This one is going south and this one is going north. Please excuse my crude drawings, but you get the picture. Now, typically when you design a bridge up to the North Shore, you are going to want to cross at one of the narrow points, which means right here or way over here at this section, or even maybe right here. In this particular case, I'm probably going to choose right here. And if we go to Google Maps, we can actually see that there is a bridge already here. In fact, there's two. One of them is a railway bridge where this middle section raises up and down. And then you have the Iron Workers Memorial Bridge across here. And this one just happens to be 3 lanes per direction. And also, it has a pretty incredible view. Now, the reason the 3 lanes are so convenient is because this one going this way and this one going this way is also 3 lanes, even though it doesn't look like it. But if we fly down, we have 1, 2, 3 for traffic, 1 for a bus, which on the bridge we could combine into those other 3 because you don't really need a bus lane on the bridge unless it's a very, very busy bridge, but that's up to you. That's up to your planners. And this one is parking. This one is also kind of informal parking, and then this one is a bike lane. So now the question becomes, how do you connect these? Do they both go in and connect right here? Do they go all the way up and connect up at the top instead? Or is there some other solution that we're not thinking of? Now, what I would like to do is I would like to continue the existing roads and continue this grid pattern up here. And I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to combine these in here because then you have to start thinking about some weird intersections and stuff like that. But one other option, which might actually make sense, is bringing this road up, maybe sending it this way, continuing this one up here, and then sending a lot of heavy traffic up this way and across the city because, I mean, we still have a large portion of the city that's going to be over here. So maybe this is a major road. And then if you want to get from way over here all the way down to here, then you have to go through this road. I mean, you'll be able to go this way if you want to, but this is going to be a very, very major road. So if I fly all the way up to where the water is, I need to figure out exactly where I want this connection. And I'm thinking approximately across right here. Now the bridge doesn't have to be exactly north-south. It's okay if it's a little bit diagonal, although it'll be more difficult to build, but I don't know, I think it'll look a little bit cooler, so maybe we'll consider that. I definitely want it to start somewhere along here. But the issue is if we look way over there, there's one road, there's that one. And if we line it up perfectly with that one, it would put us right about here to go straight across. And I want it a little bit further that way. Now, the other consideration is where's this thing actually going to land? And what are we doing on the north side here? Now, thankfully, this terrain is relatively even. because we're not quite in the mountains yet, but we are in the foothills. It does start to go up quite a bit here. It does get quite steep. Well, I think I picked the steepest part. There you go. This is a little more normal, I guess. Yeah, we definitely want the bridge to land before we hit this part. Now, looking at this one, this is the north end of the Ironworkers Memorial Bridge. You can see that they have an interchange here, and then you have this major road going east-west. Then you have this other section, which is actually the Trans-Canada Highway that continues up here. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we could do something like that. Basically, for now, we'd say we have the bridge coming in, and then we have an east-west road, and then we have the main traffic flow continuing north that eventually shifts going towards the west. Okay, so I think this is the plan so far. So I'm basically going to extend these roads straight up, and these arrows just show the direction of travel since these are one-way, and then it will combine into a two-way right here. So this will be 6 lanes. This is 3. This is 3. Obviously, I have to account for the bus lanes and the bike lanes down here. Still have to figure that out, work in progress. But then on the north side, I just put these question marks in orange to say, hey, there's going to be one going this way, and then maybe one going here. Not sure what the connection is going to look like. I don't know if it's going to be here. It's definitely not going to be down here. Might be way up here. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out. Now, something pretty interesting that this actually creates is a view corridor, which is an empty pocket of urban space with a focal point at the end. So that's what this diamond is here for. So now that we have a basic understanding of this bridge and how these roads are going to extend up here, the next step that I want to figure out is how to connect East Village over to this new area. Now, this is just floating in the sky right now, but that means I have the ability to shift it pretty much wherever I want. But this is a basic size of the actual city block. And what I would like to do for this neighborhood is actually slope it down. Now, one thing that you really have to consider when you are building a Minecraft city, if you want it on a slope, maybe your terrain doesn't really account for that, unless you're, of course, on the North Shore up there. But in Vancouver, the terrain is actually a little bit steeper compared to this right here. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. This is very, very flat. So what I'm going to do for a lot of this treeless area, I am going to essentially make my own terrain by using little nodes, I like to call them. And when I say nodes, I mean for the intersection. So this intersection and the future intersection up here, which will have a crossroad this way, I'm going to set different elevations for them and then connect them. So maybe it'll start here and then go up to here. So you will have a slope like this. Now I've done a little bit of math and I've checked out some real life cities to see actual slopes. And the maximum slope that I would want is probably about 3-to-1. Now in San Francisco, I believe their steepest street is 2.55-to-1. But since I'm building in Minecraft, I would prefer to keep it as whole numbers. So I'm thinking probably for this, we're going to go at about 6-to-1. So let's lay out some of the options. The first option is to just bring this all the way across. Whoop, that's not what I want. All the way across and then connect it. The second option is to have the road go this way and then go on a diagonal down here. And then we have to connect it here and here. So if we take a look at Vancouver, we can see there is a road that is diagonal right here. This is the Kingsway. There are lots of mid-rises popping up, which I really, really like. But you can see, let's see, how many lanes is that? It's 3 and 3. So it is approximately the same size. So actually, if we were to go with this plan, this one's 3 and this one's also 3. So aside from the obvious complexities of actually building it in Minecraft, it is quite doable from a lane perspective. Also, it wouldn't connect directly into here. I'd probably actually have it maybe more here instead as a larger road here and then a smaller one up here. I know my line weights are the opposite, but this one right here is actually a 2-lane road, and then obviously I'd have to make it quite larger down here. Now, a much simpler option, which honestly I might end up going with, although I do want to include some diagonal roads because I think they do look cool, is just having a straight road across like this as a major road with 3 lanes on each side for a total of 6. It would be the approximate same width of this bridge up here. Now the benefit of doing this is you can also have your other crossroads like this, and then it's relatively simple to make these intersections. Now another issue that we do have to think about is where these large roads actually go, because these other ones down here are not going to be the same size as this. So this would be 3, 3, and 6 for a total of 6 lanes across, but then these ones might only be 2, maybe 4. But if we take a look at Vancouver, let's space it out, because you might notice that some of these roads are actually a little bit larger. So this one down here, the one that I'm thinking about, this is Broadway. You can see it's 3 and 3, and you do also have some parking on the side. It is a major road, a major east-west corridor in Vancouver. Now you can also see down here, this is King Edward. This one is 2 and 2, so it's not quite as large, but it is still a major road. If you go down this way, this is 41st Avenue. This one is 3 and 3, but you see these diamond shapes here. These are symbols for your bus lane. Maybe what I should figure out is where is this other large road across going to fit in East Village that we have right now? So maybe let's go take a look. Okay, there we go. So there you go. That's the other section over there. You have East Village and then the mountains up north. These are the lanes that I'm talking about, north-south. I don't really want to change any existing roads, so if I was going to have a large road east-west, I would probably create a new one, because I definitely don't want to disrupt these city blocks. So let me think about it. Maybe for now I'll just put a line and then a question down here, because I don't think I'm ready to think about this yet. Maybe I want to figure out what actually goes over here first. So we'll just keep this in as a consideration that we are probably going to have a major road, probably on the south side of East Village. No guarantees yet. Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on down here first. So maybe let's just concentrate on this road and these ones up here. So moving on to something different, we do have this section that I was talking about previously, and I did shift it a little bit south from its original section way up here. I actually think I might want to move it even more south. And if you're wondering what's going on with this green section there, Swanky would like to build something, so I have given him 2 sections, but you guys will have to stay tuned for that. Now this is definitely going to get moved, but if we cut and then, I don't know, let's paste it right about here. This gives Swanky a little bit of room to start building here, and I think what I'm going to tell him is just build it flat for now, but more than likely this will end up being sloped. But when the time comes, we'll actually figure out how to make the flat building actually fit into a sloped environment, because that's also another challenge. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to be too sloped. I think I mentioned it was going to be approximately 6-1, so it may be a challenge on this side, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea. I might as well just make the segment from here down to here at a 6-1 slope. So step 1, we're going to take some white and red wool, and starting from the edge of the sidewalk here on the lot side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way down. And then on this side, we are going to, oh wow, it actually does work perfectly. So we're going to cut this off here. That was not intentional, but I'm very glad it works. So the length from here to here is 150, and each of these is 6. So it actually does work quite well. Now what I'm going to do is go section by section and lower this down. Actually, to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to copy this to the other side as well. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is quite steep. I don't know if I want it quite this steep. Maybe let's go for a 1-12 slope instead. Now the reason I'm going for 1-12 instead is this is going to connect pretty well close to down here. Again, I might end up actually pushing it back up that way. I don't know yet. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But back here, I definitely want it to be a little bit steeper. So a little more shallow here and then steeper up there. And there we go. Okay, so even right here, it is still quite a steep street. But you know what? It's better than 6-1. Man, 2.55-1 in San Francisco? That's very steep. That's insane. But honestly, this doesn't look too bad. Now, you'll obviously notice that it is sloping just this way. What I will probably end up doing is having different nodes for the intersections that are going to go here and then down here at different heights compared to that one and that one. Obviously, once you start doing that, this inside part gets a little bit complicated. So maybe I actually want to have a few blocks just to get started that are just like this. And then maybe if I want to change it later, I can. So I've added an S for Swanky. I will send him a message. I'll explain kind of the idea with the floating stuff here. and that I am potentially, and more than likely actually, going to move this entire area. Probably not very far. It's probably going to stay in a similar area, but it's really going to depend on these road connections going this way and connecting into East Village way over there. What's up, fellas? Today we're biking through beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. That right there is an Acura NSX. Sorry if it's a little bit windy. I am very fast. I'm going to get a sandwich. See how the cherry blossoms out? What a beautiful day. 17 degrees and sunny on a Friday. Now here's the great part about biking in Vancouver. You see this right here? This is an intersection that is controlled by that. Oh, thank you. And off we go. You see these speed bumps here? But oh man, I love this time of year. Perfect temperature. Doesn't get much better than this. Full stop here. Go and keep her going. There we go. Now we're just going up. See this roundabout right in the middle here? This roundabout is a traffic calming measure. Very, very common here in Vancouver. Great part about being on a bike is you can hop off and there you go. Now you can just walk to your destination. There you go. Lock all set. You make sure you put it through the tire, through the frame, and then through this thing here as well. So it looks a little bit like that. So let's go get some food. Now I need to go find a place to eat, and I think I know just the spot. Seems to be some sort of event going on. It's a baseball field. There you get one of these again, which I very much appreciate. Thank you, Vancouver. Now we wait. I'm gonna go up here and hop off the bike. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's easier to cross this way. Now here's the tough part. That hill over there is a lot steeper than it seems. And at the top is the highest point in the city of Vancouver. And that's where we're going to eat a sandwich. No cars coming. We are good. Oh, come on, Matt, get it together. Can't take a break. Alright, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm very tired, but it's time to eat a sandwich. Oh, not a bad view, eh? Not bad. Okay, so now it's time to go home, and thankfully it is all downhill. I can see a volcano way out in the distance. You probably can't, but it is pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to take a shortcut. Right there. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching me eat my sandwich.